Check, check, 1, 2. We are live on OBS. We are live on YouTube. Hello, comrades, and welcome to episode number... Let me make sure that I put this in there, right? Episode number 267, or live show 10 of the Terminus podcast. I'm your
Oh
host,
my god.
Ellis, otherwise known as the Admiral. This is our live train news show. My pronouns are he, him, and I have one co-host with me today.
Hey, what's up? I'm here holding it down. TJ, they, them, she, her, whatever the fuck. It's been too. It's they don't knock you for that that anymore, so it's fine. Excited to train it up.
All right. Looks like we're already getting some folks filtering into the audience, which is fantastic. If this is your first time seeing the show, we are currently live through our Discord, which you can find at theironhorseman.com/discord, and also in the description.
You said the TD Garden, the brother. This is Springfield, Mass. North Station at home.
I need to share the link with the Discord for for the live show itself. Of course, if you were subscribed on YouTube, you can see it already. And while everyone gets situated, while people get in, I will go over the mantle responsibility for this week, which is the part of the show where I talk about all of the major wrecks and incidents. There was one that we got sent that was tagged that I didn't count, but I will talk about it afterward because it's a funny story, I suppose. And no one got hurt, so it's fine. The first of the period was a non-Class 1 incident. I guess I will go in chronological order. A Via train derailed in Bas Saint Laurent after a collision, I assume with a truck. Via train collided with two semi-trucks on early Monday morning. Again, this was back on the 12th. 4 people were sleeping in the trucks when they were struck at 1:30 a.m. I don't know this. It doesn't explain why there were people sleeping in trucks that were also in the way of a train. I don't know if somebody.
Give me a break.
Yeah. It just parked on a crossing, crawled in the back, take a nap. Is that a thing? Is that a thing that? Oh, okay. The truck drivers had parked too close to the railroad tracks. If you drill down in this article, all 8 sentences of it. There's no photos of anything, so you just have to sort of assume what that looked like. I don't know.
Use your imagination.
Yeah, use your imagination. It must have been through an industrial district. I mean, I've seen some really, really rough truck parking, semi-parking that's adjacent railroad tracks. I saw something like that in Connecticut when I was out there doing the sealed corridor study for CT Rail, which we didn't mention it to start the show, but you can see on the screen we are in Springfield, Massachusetts. This is the last show before the Big E, something that we will certainly talk about a little bit later. The second incident on the mantle happened with a Union Pacific train in, I believe, downtown Phoenix, or close to, near Phoenix. I was in Maricopa County. A truck driver.
First county in America. That name will never. Maricopa County will never leave my brain because of the 2020 election.
Oh God. The truck driver was cited for not yielding to the train properly. This was another incident with the semi, although the driver was awake. The driver actually escaped his truck. Dramatic close
Why did
call.
he just pull it forward?
I don't know. There's a video here.
Oh, there's a different. Sorry, dumb. It's not the same one. I thought there were 2 guys just hanging out next to each other, and one of them got hit, and the other one escaped the car instead of just pulling forward.
Yeah, I don't actually know what happened here. It seems like the driver pulled too far forward, and before stopping for the crossing, and then had nowhere to go, so just bailed out of the truck. So, lucky that he's fine. The train apparently, didn't derail, and no injuries were reported. So, luckily, everything was fine.
It's always a plus.
Yeah, and here's an appreciative thing. Union Pacific reminded drivers that if they ever become stuck on railroad tracks, they should immediately get out of the vehicle and move to a safe location. Once safe, drivers should locate the blue emergency sign at the crossing and call the number listed to provide dispatchers with the crossing number so approaching trains can be stopped.
Yeah,
Yes,
the blue plaque. Let's go.
the blue plaque, the thing that has saved my bacon plenty of times in GeoGuessr. Um,
Blue plaque, my goat.
if if nobody got me, I know the blue plaque got me.
Yeah.
Uh, the third incident was a Canadian national one in or around somewhere near Memphis. This was in Millington, Tennessee. Train collided with an abandoned vehicle early Friday morning.
It would be.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know why this vehicle was on the tracks. There was no one
Because it was
inside.
in Memphis. It was
No,
like, get me out of here.
the car was driving itself out of Memphis.
Yeah, you haven't seen Cars?
Cars 4.
Yeah, Cars 4, Escape from Memphis.
Um, but the picture of the car, it just looks pancaked. I mean, if you needed a piece of evidence that said, "Hey, if your car is stuck on the train tracks, get the hell out. It will not save you," and just like don't mess around with your car near train tracks. Don't mess around near train tracks at all. But it one of these articles, it looks like it has been flattened. It looks like the debris left behind when you kill a robot in Fallout. It's just a pile of twisted metal. Um, so yeah, nobody was in the car. It's not clear to whom the car belonged. At least it doesn't say so in the articles. Uh, and it's not clear why it was on the tracks in the first place. So careful about that. All of these links are available in the cargoes, which is linked in the description of the show, as well as in our thread, our publicly available thread on the Discord. Now we will move on to the main part of the show, the railroad news part, the part that some people even come here for. Um, this is, of course, the part where if you have a piece of railroad news that you would like to talk about, you can join the show. Once you have rank in the server, you can join the show and raise your hand, and we will have you on to talk about whatever it is that you want to talk about. But the thing to talk about right now, at least for you and I, TJ, I think, is that next weekend there will not be a podcast because we are going to the world's largest train show.
Fulmer Mecca, yeah.
Yeah. Um, this is a yearly tradition. I mean, the folks that have been around for a long time certainly know that this is a thing we do every year. I mean, they have the virtual rail fan cams up at the show in the past, and we've gone and made a thing of saying hello to the camera. What are you looking forward out of the show this year? Looking forward to?
This year I don't really have a budget for anything, so I am excited to see all of the people that I know there. I am also very excited because for those who know me know I'm a 2 foot stan and I am rapidly trying to complete a couple of 2 foot kits that I have. The my WWF number 9 replica type thing that's not technically number 9 because it's not gonna be once I put decals on it, but it's a dead ringer. And then my W&Q/WWNF caboose that is a kit bash from SRNRL caboose kit that I got. Those two are going to be hopefully, if everything goes right, for the rest of today and tomorrow when I have slotted to work on the locomotive. Hopefully everything goes well and everything functions the way it's supposed to, and there will be a little. We don't get the fornies at the Big E anymore, but
Ooh.
maybe you can pay 5 cents instead of $5 and blow the whistle on my little model while you're there.
Are we gonna have? You're gonna have a little set of N scale track.
Yeah, I was thinking of I do have my own little track and I could hook it up to my laptop and just have it static. But also I believe that some of the folks up there have like a oval of N scale track, like Kato track that does the trick. So, and I know a few of the WWF members that I am friends with also have some HON30 stuff like rolling stock that's basically ready to run. So, should be should be nice. Maybe we'll actually have like a whole train to assemble. Otherwise, uh, you know, it'll just be cool to look at. And people are probably going to ask me how many times they want if it's for sale.
Hey, I mean that'd be some good attention for it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because I know I'm gonna be like that guy in the back. Remember him who used to
Oh
have
God.
all the Canadian national steam, and like he wouldn't even let you like get a certain distance from it.
Yeah, he just
And
this individual who brought his collection to the show just to show off the fact that he had a collection, which
yeah,
I
he's
don't
like, "Hey,
I
I'm just gonna brag the whole weekend."
I don't know if I can really be mad at that because I mean half the show is the layouts, right? And I never had a budget for uh buying stuff at the show. I really never purchased stuff at the Big E until the last couple of years where I bought a couple of things. And I would spend the entire weekend just going from layout to layout, from booth to booth. There are, you know, for those who aren't familiar with the Amherst show, which I will put a link in the cargos for everybody, there are four entire buildings of layouts, vendors,
Yeah.
and just like booths. I know there are some new arrivals this year. There's going to be like a National Park
Oh,
Service booth and an Amtrak booth. People that haven't been there
and
before.
you're forgetting the big one.
What?
Murr from Impractical Jokers is gonna be there.
Oh God.
I am literally so excited for Murr. Oh God, call me one of the three wise men the way I'm excited for Murr.
All right, how long have you been sitting on that one?
I literally just came up with that. Thank you, thank you. I was quick on my feet with that one. Yeah, no, because he bought the some like model railroad club out, or like someone that like had a vaguely like a private-ish model railroad club in their basement, and it was gonna go away and it was gonna like get destroyed, and then Murr from Impractical Jokers bought it and saved it, and now he runs it as like his own club or whatever. um and yeah, it's very very cool to see like a celebrity, like he's not a, not a big celebrity, but like a mid-sized celebrity, like do just basically just do like positive PR for model railroading now. And I think it's a good way to get like normies into model railroading. Also, I mean, like my manager at work,
Normies.
my manager at work sent me his Instagram post and was like, "Murr," and I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be there."
I was never really a fan of Impractical Jokers. So the like, you know, the gravity of this is pretty lost on me. But it's amazing to see someone who is a celebrity like out in the non-railroad outside of the foamer bubble, you know, who is a big thing there and also going to be a big thing at the show because he's going to have this layout. You know, it's not like, oh, we spotted him walking around the show. It is he's there as an exhibitor, which is kind of
Yeah,
wild.
yeah.
If you go on the if you go onto the Cargos document, I provided a link to the page for the hobby show. You can see well the tickets. You can't get them online anymore. You just got to pick them up when you get there. But there's a list of all of the vendors and exhibitors, etc., and a map of the place. I'm going to be with the Providence Northern booth, which is in the which building?
Not the Better Living Center, is it?
Not the Better Living Center, not the Mallory building, and not Stroh. So it's the fourth one. It's the one I can't remember, I think. Um,
Ugh.
but you were going to be, what, across the way with the WWNF?
Allegedly young. Yeah, thank you,
Oh, yeah,
awesome word.
Young Building. Yes, thank you. Um,
Allegedly, yeah, I signed up on they posted a Google form 2 days ago.
which is crazy to me.
Which is kind of funny. Yeah, they posted a thing 2 days ago. It was like, hey, even if you talk to me in person, like fill out this form if you're going to volunteer at our booth or if you want to. So given that it only got posted 2 days ago, I was like, yeah, that's probably fair game. So I sent in my stuff because I'm going to be hanging around there with my models anyway. I might as well, hold down the fort for them for a little while.
Yeah, well,
And
they're going to have more chairs than we will. That's for sure.
yeah, their booth is always pretty big, and there's probably going to be some interesting stuff there, so I'll want to hang out around that. And plus, like I said, I'm not really in the market for anything. I'm probably going to be looking for some 2 foot kits or books. Like, I found some cool historical artifacts ish stuff like last time that I got. Not, I guess not really historical artifacts, but like
Yeah, you dug them up out of the ground.
yeah, yeah, not like a collection of photographs of all the like WWF locomotives in like a binder. Like that's probably the coolest thing I got last year. And then of course, the one guy who makes 2 foot kits is always there, so I always go plunder his stash. And then I'm hoping that maybe someone who sells like couplers and stuff will be there because I don't have any couplers.
I'm sure you'll be able to find stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I was last year. I was buying like supplies to run the modular at the booth at the opposite corner of the building.
Yeah,
Just like one of those
yeah,
shops. It was good. It worked. You know. So
yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be someone selling like scale couplers or something somewhere. I'm not worried about it. I also don't have the hardware to mount the trucks, which I think I might have to purchase on my own before the E, so that they actually can run at the E. But yeah, I have the wheel sets put together. I have to finish adding some handrails, paint the thing, and then mount the trucks and the coupler, and we'll be good.
there we go. There was something that I said I was going to circle back to in the news when we were talking about the mantle of responsibility. The first thing we got sent after last podcast, which is that uh, a Missouri man was charged for stealing diesel fuel from trains. Uh, Stealing thousands of gallons of diesel.
Siphoning gas from a
Yeah,
train.
exactly. I'm looking through this article to see if there is an explanation as to how he did it. I assume he was siphoning gas out of the train. I didn't think that would be something that you could just walk up to a locomotive and
Yeah.
do. Uh,
Like you don't need a key to
yeah,
like
right.
open it or something. Like
Yeah, like even my car has a place where you can lock the the gas cap. They don't have that on trains. I mean, I
I
guess
guess
that
not.
I guess their idea of security on a locomotive is just to take the reverser with you, right? So maybe
Yeah.
maybe there's not quite as much as we think there is. This is not an invitation to go steal gasoline from Union Pacific. Just saying.
Well, now
Um,
railroads are gonna start putting like the switch locks on the gas cap. So
I mean, maybe they should though. Maybe
yeah.
that's like a baseline amount of security to have for your thousands of gallons of diesel fuel. Uh, the county prosecuting attorney's office has charged Donald McKinney with 3 felonies: receiving stolen property, tampering with physical evidence, and resisting arrest. Uh, that's not what I would have expected the charges to be. Um, Not like theft, like no theft. Receiving stolen property really does not sound like theft. Um, Investigators followed up on a tip that McKinney had stolen dyed diesel fuel on multiple occasions in Missouri and Illinois. Um, he'd stolen fuel for at least the past 10 years and sold it to various acquaintances in nearby counties. So he wasn't even using it for himself. He was running a racket. He was a dealer. Um, so 1,000 gallons of fuel intended for BNSF locomotives were stolen on 3 separate occasions. Intended for. So it doesn't say it's coming out of the train. There's a lot of tidbits in here. Uh, they found several rifles, a large sum of cash, and multiple tanks of drums of suspected diesel in his home. What an adventure. Uh, when law enforcement officers arrived to the scene and identified themselves, McKinney attempted to run away and set his trailer on fire in the process.
What?
An apparent attempt to destroy evidence. Oh my
That's
god.
really funny.
This is yeah, I mean
Quick torture, quick.
it's funny because no one was hurt by him
Yeah.
just setting his house on fire. This guy's actually crazy. Uh
Yeah. Of course.
please don't do this. Like we give out a lot of cautionary tales. And we talked about the blue signs earlier. Just Please don't end up in the news like this. Uh, and if you're going to steal gas, no, I don't have a I don't have an answer for that. Just don't
Just
steal
be better
diesel
at it.
from the railroad. You have to be better at it.
Don't
Uh,
get caught if you're gonna steal it. I mean, come on.
wait for oil futures to go into the negatives again, and then just get gas for free. Um, I'm putting this link in the cargoes for everyone as well. Um, are there any news items that I will check with the audience to see if anybody is looking to jump in. I'm also going to check with the live stream chat. But TJ, is there any piece of news that piqued your interest in the past week?
I don't know if I'd say it piqued my interest, but I definitely think I owe, or I slash we owe it to uh, our viewers to talk about the NS UP merger.
Oh yeah, yeah. So that
Because
7,000 page merger application.
yeah, so believe it or not, I'm not the only one that makes stupid little mistakes at work. The lawyer who was in charge of typing up the merger application for the STB by UP and NS didn't finish it. Um,
what is? Go ahead. I mean,
quote, the unanimous bombshell decision was announced late Friday and is likely to delay UP's effort to acquire NS. Provided no insight into the final decision on the merger if UP and NS opt to try again. Decision is based solely on the incompleteness of the December 19th application and should not be read as an indication of how the board might ultimately assess any future revised application. Among the issues, the initial application was incomplete. Yeah, initial blah 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 blah.
does it say why?
Incomplete market analysis. It does say why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we were talking about. I think last week or the week before when we talked about it. It seemed like they just sort of winged it. They said, well, this is the market share that we have and the market share that they have, so together it'll be this market share, and they didn't really seem to show their work. Now,
Yeah, in the article it says, for example, UP and NS stated that it would take 3 years for the benefits of increased traffic from the merger to be realized. However, the application did not provide an analysis of what those traffic levels would be. It only showed what they would be on the first day of the combination. Additionally, applicants are legally required to provide copies of, quote, any contract or other written instrument entered into or proposed to be entered into pertaining to the proposed transaction, end quote. However, UP and NS only included a agreement and plan of merger, not the full contract.
huh? Mossy Mug says, I feel like it's less incompetence on the lawyer and more so the railroads trying to rush it out because they're railroads. It does this specifically. This specific thing does like
Yeah,
it. It feels to me like, yeah, whatever, that's good enough. Send it. You know, it. It's like,
yeah,
oh, did they think they were gonna check their work? No, not really.
yeah. This is definitely like oh, they won't even look at that part, or like, oh, this is good enough. Like uh the incompetence of a lawyer typing up the thing was more a joke about how like they rejected what if they rejected the application because there were a couple typos or something,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, this is let me see.
I mean, the other class ones have got to be celebrating this, right? But I do like how the article that you were reading off points out that this is not, it's
Yeah,
not indicative of what the STB thinks about the merger in practice. It's just, hey, you filed the paperwork wrong. Get out of here. Do
well,
it again.
the funny thing is, despite them saying that, this is a trains article from the 17th, so yesterday. Other railroads were not the only parties welcoming the STB's decision to reject the initial application. Shipper groups also voiced their approval.
Yeah, it really seems like nobody wants this except for UP and NS. Which
The National Grain and Feed Association was the only shipper organization to file comments with the STB questioning the completeness of the application and said in a statement that it appreciates the board's decision to require additional information. Uh, The agency has gathered feedback and perspectives from members with varying viewpoints on the merger proposal since it was announced in 2025, the organization said. Based on that feedback, the NGFA previously urged UP to supplement its filing last month with greater detail on how the proposed transaction would enhance competition and provide robust service assurances, including clear justification for the measures considered and rejected. And they look forward to continued engagement with the STB and UP.
I'm putting
But
that
apparently,
article in.
one more group, uh, uh, threw their hat in, and this is the American Chemistry Council.
Chemistry Council.
Yeah. Um, uh, Commended the board's move. The group's president, Chris John,
Chris
Jahn, not two first names.
Chris John. No, that is two first names.
Jahn. That's not how
Oh,
you spell John.
Jahn. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Chris
Well,
John has previously voiced the ACC's opposition to the merger. Quote, given the unprecedented size and potential impacts, it's essential for the board and all stakeholders to have the information needed to fully assess the proposal. There's too much at stake to get it wrong. American industry cannot afford another mega merger that leaves customers with fewer choices, higher prices, and declining service. ACC remains committed to working with regulators, policymakers, and stakeholders to ensure that any proposed merger serves the public interest as the law demands and protects the nation's supply chain, economy, and manufacturing competitiveness. More than 60 trade associations have previously informed the STB that they are concerned about the impact of the NS merger.
it's just let them all merge and then take them over. Make Conrail too. And this, I don't know. Like I get it. I get it. I I the reasons for hesitation on the part of all the shippers are extremely valid. Um, but as has been talked about before, I do wonder if the worsening of service, which is very much considered continuing independent of the merger, uh, I'm wondering if it's going to go materially faster otherwise. With the merger, without the merger, I don't know if it's going to get worse faster, or I can't imagine it's going to slow down the worsening. But it's not.
Acidification.
It's not fun to be a rail shipper in this day and age, unless you happen to be shipping like coal. Um, anyway, we do have a hand up in the audience, so I'm going to bring in Kaiserin for whatever it is she wants to bring onto the show.
I hope it's not this Santa Fe Amtrak thing.
Oh God.
Well, it's two things actually. One, it is the Santa Fe Amtrak thing.
No.
Two, I talked to a guy yesterday, randomly at Model Railroad Club meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Never met him before. He works for the AAR in Mississippi and Alabama.
And that
and
is the
Louisiana.
Association of American Railroads, for those who don't do acronyms, because I am out of the loop too.
Yes. And he told me that they had been talking at where he works about the merger too. And he told me the reason why, and I think I might have misunderstood what y'all said, but the reason why it didn't go through was because they didn't put in their plan. Because like with when CPKC merged, they had a plan of, they're going to operate as two separate entities for this amount of time, and then they'd merge together and they'd become that one company.
Yeah, we
like
did.
like how for if you were
We,
around
we
if
did.
you were
Sorry to interrupt, but
around
we did cover that, and we did quote the article on that one. We did say what the reasoning was.
A little bit.
well, no, I was
Or at
just
least what we
adding.
were given. Yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah,
finish your thought, Kaiser.
Yeah.
But it was the like CPKC had this thing. If you live near CPKC track, you've probably seen it, where after 2 or 3 years, all of a sudden there's Canadian Pacific locomotives all over the place.
Like
Where
locusts.
for that 2 or 3 years, where they were merged. They were one company, but you never saw CPKC locomotive, or not CPK. You never saw the CP locomotives until after that 2 year period. That's what I'm talking about. That's the specific part of the merger plan that UPNS didn't put in, that they forgot. It not that or it wasn't supposed to be exactly like CPKC's, but that's the specific section that they left out,
It seems like
according to the AAR guy.
it seems like based on that and based on this article, there's more than one hole in this memo. They didn't have the sort of traffic analysis projection. They didn't have the. I assume that has to do with the second to last paragraph in this article, which mentions any contract or other written instrument entered into or proposed to be entered into pertaining to the proposed transaction, and they only included an agreement and plan of murder. Plan of murder, yeah.
Plan of murder.
Yeah, agreement and plan of merger. Sorry.
No wonder why it got rejected.
But I assume that's what you were thinking about, TJ, when you said that this is what we were talking about.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it sound crass when I said it, but yes.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's a big document, but there's a lot of moving pieces in here. I would assume that the AAR has had more time with it than certainly I have, because I haven't been reading it. I don't know if either of you have.
The AAR guy said that the AAR doesn't want it to go through, but they can't really say anything about it.
Well,
they don't want it to go through because Union Pacific has different standards than Norfolk Southern does. And Norfolk Southern effectively saying that, like, some of Union Pacific's company owned rail cars will not fit on the NS network. Like some
big
of their heavy. No, not just the big rail car, not locomotive.
Well, you know.
I mean more like their super heavy like flat cars and stuff like that. They're designed for out west, and out west has more open space than back east, and they have wider corners and stuff.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to have a lot of hurdles when it comes to figuring out how to take their two systems and make them work together. I mean, it's just going to end up looking like, well, any other conglomerate railroad where you have certain sections that certain cars are allowed on, and based on things like turn radius and axle loading and size. I
wonder how they're going to deal with locomotives, because NS seems to hate GE, and UP seems to hate everything that isn't GE.
Yeah,
for mainline use. I get that there's 4-axle switchers that are EMD or whatever, but the vast majority of like mainline locomotives they're GEVOs, they're GEs. So I don't
just
know.
Swap power when you cross the Mississippi.
Yeah, you're gonna have your two divisions, your XNS and your XNS and your still UP, right? I'm actually gonna throw something into the public thread here. And I'll also get this up on the screen. I'll put away this god awful
RIP
that Kaiserin sent in. 1 second, let me find the correct.
You actually put that on the screen?
Yeah, I put it on the screen the whole time you were talking.
You said to.
Oh God, I didn't expect you to actually do it. I thought you were joking. It's not gonna stay. It's not gonna stay Amtrak in Santa Fe. It's gonna get repainted.
Oh, is that something that you bought? I thought that was something you found online.
No, I made that.
You made that? Oh, God.
Okay, well, now that I know it was an actual question, I have no clue what modeling putty you would use for that.
Well, yes, it was a genuine. I did not
modeling putty before.
It was not a joke question. I did not find it online. I built that thing. It's in pieces in a box right now
I thought
because
you were
it's
rage
not.
baiting me.
No, it's not going to stay Amtrak Santa Fe. Amtrak just happened to be the junk F unit shell that I had.
Well, I know you probably shouldn't use like Play-Doh. Also, this was not the map that I was trying to find. But yes, rest in peace, Pan Am. This one fits the discussion well enough. You have your different, you know, different maximum axle loadings is what I assume those numbers are for the different parts of the system here. And this is what it's going to end up looking like. They're going to have to take a look at their two sets of standards if they do end up merging and find a new set that encompasses the previous sets and then build a map like this.
Oh yeah, you weren't kidding. Nothing runs into Rhode Island.
Well, you know, Pan Am misses it. The thing with railroading in Rhode Island is that freight is
Well, you see.
the only company that's allowed to run rail freight in Rhode Island is the province of Worcester because of okay, yeah, because of very old agreements that I think were born out of when P&W first became independent again. So
and it is the best move that Rhode Island's ever made, baby.
yeah, well, it
just
was never Conrail.
Just like the. Have you heard the funniness about the Gulf and Ship Island? Like, this is old news, but it's hilarious.
Go
it
ahead.
has to do with old agreements. Okay, so the Gulf and Ship Island down south, it's hilarious. It's this. Apparently, they signed when they were bought out by IC or whatever. They were part of IC, and they had the union or whatever made this deal with IC, and then when KCS bought that section of IC, they had to uphold that deal, and that deal was passed on to CPKC. Effectively, they're still getting paid like far more. They're still getting the same benefits they would have gotten from Illinois Central, effectively, which is a whole lot better than the rest of the system. Is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it's interesting how
over my word.
It's interesting how the railroad contracts.
And because they
oh, sorry. Go ahead. I thought you were done.
It is because they made that deal, almost 100 years ago now, or whatever, and CPKC is having to uphold that deal despite, and it's become like a thing is that if you get you've won if you get assigned to the Gulf and Ship Island route or whatever. It's
I know of some paper barriers that are still around. I remember way back learning about something in Connecticut where there are two railroads that come down and they are, they're effectively adjacent to one another, but they're not allowed to exchange cars there because the agreement says they can't. I don't remember the details of that, but again, it's the way these contracts percolate down. Of course, you could just be like Union Pacific and ignore them.
Isn't there a pass in that Union Pacific has that they keep closed specifically so BNSF can't use it?
You're probably thinking about the shenanigans that have gone on around. Well, there is Tennessee Pass, but
Tennessee Pass was what I was thinking.
Yeah, the Tennessee Pass and the Moffett route are real points of contention between BNSF and UP. And I see a hand in the audience from the very person that I would trust the most to talk about this. But I did want to say one more thing. It's a shame that I have forgotten what it was. Anyway, thank you for coming to the show, Kaiserin. And we are starting to lose you a little bit. Your internet is not having a great time, so you're welcome back anytime. All right. Let's
we're gonna let this guy. We're gonna let this.
You gonna let this guy in?
We just let
You
anyone
let
on this
this guy
show.
in. The second I heard you guys start talking about Tennessee Pass, I was like, oh boy, I gotta
Well, I
get in on
saw
this.
your hand was up before. Your hand was up
No, I
before,
brought
and
it
I
up
was
and I
like,
was
oh
like,
shoot.
am I allowed? Like, am I allowed to stay on? Like, I don't know how that. With my caller right now, is how's this
Yeah,
working?
you're a caller. Welcome to the show.
Hey, my name's Nick, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah,
Um,
hell yeah.
You get extra points if you do that when you come on.
Yeah.
But like the good kind of points, not the old Terminus bad kind of points. So anyway,
Anyway.
What's on your platform? What did you want to talk to us about?
I can talk. Well, I honestly just heard Soldier Summit to the Moffat line, Tennessee Pass, and
Yeah.
I kind of did. I didn't really formulate a thought before my hand was moving.
What was your hand up? What was your hand up for
I just-
before that?
I just think it's a really interesting. I don't know. I just wanted to say
I
hi.
just wanted to chat.
For God's
Yeah.
sake.
Say what's up.
Well, what is your? While you're here, what is your take on the SGB's rejection of the merger application?
Well, they didn't reject. They didn't reject
I kind
the
of just
merger.
think it's just a big nothing burger. I mean, all things
You know what? You're
considered,
kind of right, actually.
it's just kind of a big nothing burger.
It's delaying the
I mean,
inevitable.
Yeah.
It's just delaying the inevitable. Yeah, it doesn't really mean anything. They even
you
said
think
it like
they're-
this is not an explicit rejection. This is just you didn't provide all the things we needed.
Do you think the STB would be a group of people to just like keep kicking it down the road with arbitrary shit like this?
Maybe. I mean,
Like,
eventually
do you
at some
think like the
point,
next deadline is gonna pass? They're gonna be like, oh well, now you don't have this, and then oh well, now you don't have this.
It
yeah,
isn't
which I-
arbitrary,
uh,
though.
STB
I am
is
totally full,
is
though. For
is-
it, not full.
is fairly apolitical except for when it's not. And I don't think they would be willing to do that, especially with the administration. And as we know, Jim Vina has met Trump under the desk a few times.
Hey, yo, whoa.
And Vina is just Vina. I'm sorry, that was a little much.
I just didn't expect that.
And well, so
Yeah,
Vina
as
has
we
been
all
in one of the
know,
nations,
they were on
and-
the Epstein flight logs together.
And I think after
Yeah, how do you think he got the caboose?
I think after a handful of rejections, the Trump administration will just be like, actually,
Declaring martial law to get the merger.
approve the
Get the merger
get
through.
the UPNS merger approved.
Yeah, because Trump really wants the big boy to come to Washington. That's what this
Why
is
do
all
they
about.
Bro, this is a little off topic. I just got this notification. They're
Uh-oh.
doing a major housing policy announcement. This group,
Okay.
like this group, and they're like for rent stabilization. The announcement's on a Tuesday at 12:30. How am I gonna get there for that?
They're not gonna do like a live stream or something.
I hope they better. I'll fucking
Anyway.
go there and live stream it myself. Anyway,
I did have on the note of Tennessee Pass.
Go ahead.
Or really more specifically, the Moffat line, because Tennessee Pass will never see a train again. Sorry to burst your bubble.
I'm gonna go cry now.
said that.
Yeah.
Tennessee Pass is never going to see.
No, but it is though. No, I want to believe.
I promise.
Yeah.
Don't get your hopes up.
Well, when I hit the lottery, I'm gonna buy a bunch of steam locomotives and I'm gonna run them over Tennessee Pass, and then I'm gonna get in a private plane and die.
I'm gonna run them over Tennessee Pass anyway. There's like that one restaurant that's like set up as outside tables on the tracks.
Oh, it's gonna be like the like the
Grande.
one alleyway with the train running through it that you see in all the like memes. All right, everyone pack up the tables, get them out of the way. The train's coming through.
Yeah, it'll be exactly like that. But it's kind of funny. It's not as much of a point of contention anymore between UP and BNSF. So that is true. Tennessee Pass has not been sold because the Union Pacific would rather it just sit abandoned than BNSF get it, which is not an unreasonable.
Union Pacific is in their
Things to
Stop
say.
and Shop era.
But whereas the Moffat line, it's really funny though because they don't want it going to Tennessee to BNSF, which is fine. Yeah. However, they still, they still run just as many trains over the Moffat line. In fact, they run more than UP now.
Oh, BNSF runs more trains over Moffat than UP
Yes,
does.
BNSF. Yeah,
I wonder what the theoretical
BNSF.
maximum capacity of the Moffat line is, because
I mean, SP was running 30 trains a day on the Moffat line.
it's a lot of single track. I mean, 30 trains a day is nothing to shake a stick at, but
Well,
it is
that's not
surprising
true.
that they
They
can
were
get
running
away with
30
it.
trains a day on the single track west of
Grand
wherever
Junction?
west of Grand Junction.
Oh, okay, so that includes
Um,
trains that ran through Tennessee Pass.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, well that is a little
but
different.
They were running, as far as I'm aware, by the mid 90s. Most of the traffic had been adjusted to run through the
To
other
run over
Moffat.
Moffat. Yeah.
And
No,
SP was in the process of. I mean, even if the mergers hadn't happened, Tennessee Pass probably would have been abandoned anyway. Just to be fully honest,
it's a difficult grade.
Um,
It's a difficult
it's a very
railroad to run.
difficult grade.
Uh,
And the Rio Grande also tried to abandon it several times. And the SP was in the process of raising the Moffat line when they got bought out. And the UP took over the Moffat line in '96. So realistically, it probably would have only made it into the 2000s before they finished the double stack compatibility on the Moffat line, and then that never it would have. Suffice to say, it would have been abandoned either way.
was the double stack bottleneck Moffat Tunnel?
I think that's one of the tunnels. I think there are several tunnels. I mean, obviously, as you've been there are about 500 billion tunnels between Denver and Glenwood, Denver and Glenwood Springs, but just Denver and Grand Junction.
Yeah.
There are a ton of tunnels, so
And
it
this
was
is like-
not just the Moffat Tunnel.
And there's
I think
one
the Moffat
tunnel on
Tunnel-
Tennessee Pass.
I think the Moffat Tunnel probably wouldn't have had to do as much work. They could fit auto racks on that. You can fit auto racks on that section.
Well,
So it's not a ton of raising.
you could fit
and I think-
fit Autoracks to the Hoosick Tunnel too, but look how that
the
turned
Hoosick
out.
Tunnel had to be raised to fit auto racks.
Well, twice. They shaved off like a foot off the roof, and they lowered the track another couple feet over the course of multiple different projects, and they still have the standing project of we're gonna shave off another section of the roof or whatever to make Hoosick double stack compatible. That's definitely not happening now, but
no, that's not going to happen.
no.
So, no. But it is just interesting that BNSF has the rights to a lot of the oil traffic out in Utah. They run a lot of waxy crude. They were, the one that they were going to build the railway to, that they're never going to build the railway to.
Mm-hmm.
They've really beefed up. BNSF has put a lot of money into beefing up the transloads in central Utah. So they're transloading a ton of waxy crude oil that can't be transported by pipeline.
Huh.
It's too waxy.
It's
It
too
has to be
waxy.
transported.
It
Has
doesn't
to
want
be
to flow like
transported.
that.
Yeah,
Me
it has-
transporting my waxy crude in my pipe.
What? They
Not
do
funny.
still use the Moffat Tunnel. It's a major it's
It
a
gets-
major
it gets-
bottleneck.
It gets, I mean, they run UP doesn't run very much. They run 2 manifests. They run a manifest each way a day, one way a day, and then it comes back the next day. And then they run some coal traffic occasionally. Coal's kind of really died off in Colorado.
Yeah.
And then
Because a lot of
BNSF
it's coming
runs a
out of
coal
what
train.
Powder River Basin, right?
Mostly
From
Powder
Wyoming.
River Basin now, yeah. Almost all the power plant coal in this country comes from Powder River Basin. Which that's starting to dry out now too, which is kind of funny. I mean, it's not funny. It's actually not funny at all, but
no.
they are starting to also run out of coal in Powder River Basin.
Sorry, I'm gonna bring up the comments real quick. The supposition was they may or may not have had to raise the clearances in the Moffat Tunnel because we know it could fit auto racks originally. We don't know if it was a significant raise or not. So it wasn't that it barely fit an auto rack. It definitely fit auto racks.
They still use Moffat Tunnel
And they run double stacks over there,
And they ran
plenty.
SP was running double stacks over Tennessee Pass for a little bit, not very long. Of course, they didn't really make it into SP ran double stacks, but they didn't make it to the era where we see double stacks like we see them today.
Speaking of,
They were still TOFC was still ruling the land when the SP was around
mhm.
and the Rio Grande was around. So TOFC obviously can go through Moffat Tunnel, and that's
Speaking
most of what the SP ran.
of double stacks, STG Logistics, which is a intermodal company, filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy earlier in the week. I don't know what this means for them long term, because they just wiped out their debt and they got $150 million in new financing, according to this article, which I cannot read the rest of. I don't know what what implications this will have. Do you know anything about STG Logistics?
Really,
In their
they're just an
intermodal
intermodal
traffic?
carrier.
Oh, okay.
They're just an intermodal carrier. They'll probably get bought out by like Hub or
Do they have cool looking containers?
STG.
Yeah.
Do they have or do they?
Do
they
they have?
No, they're kind of just like they just say STG Logistics.
All right, I don't care then. Whatever. Get somebody else in here. Get somebody else that makes like
get them out of here.
Give me more of the one
Cut 'em
containers
off.
or something.
They do a lot with the UP. The UP was their primary character. BN doesn't carry them at all.
Huh. Okay. Well, I put that article in. If somebody has a Trains Mag subscription, they'll be able to read it. But did you want to stay on? I know you're allowed to stick around. Well,
my fiance just got home.
But all right. Well, thank you for hopping on the show, and you're of course welcome back anytime.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
See ya.
So, TJ,
Get him out of here.
have you kick him out? Have you seen the reveal of the T1 in Baltimore?
The number one?
Yeah, the B&O Museum one.
Yeah, I did see that. It was kind of cool. It's shockingly large compared to everything else around it in that museum.
Yeah, you could say that again. The B&O Museum has so much really early steam, and it is gargantuan. I was shocked to see it inside, because I didn't know that was a thing they could do.
Yeah, Hold on, let me pull up a picture so I could actually look at it.
Hold on, I'll get the article. I'm going to put it in the.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to put it in the public thread as well. But of course, I'm going to put it in the cargoes too. It is gorgeous. T1.
Oh yes, here it is. Number one.
Not really number one after all, but
is that a different?
It's number one on it.
Is that a different tender than the 2102 had? Is it like bigger?
I wouldn't think so.
I don't know. I don't know why it looks like longer. Maybe I'm probably just imagining that, but
some of these photos they're not great for getting the size of the tender out of it. That's for sure. The perspective is a little off.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing next to the little like Americans
engine, yeah,
is so funny.
Hold on, I'll throw this in the public thread. I can't get it up on the stream, but I can put it there. Yeah, it's what is that? The William Mason, I believe, over on the left. It is crazy. It's enormous. I mean,
yeah, you can see it in the picture I posted. Like, it's obviously a little skewed because of the perspective, but like, you can see the whole engine, the whole engine on either side, and not even like hardly the top of number one.
This is definitely pushing me to make Baltimore my destination next year. I'm not gonna lie. Being able to check off, I guess that would be 3 out of 4 Reading T-1s that I have seen.
Baltimore.
And the only one I'm missing is over in Cleveland, 2100, right?
I don't know.
I don't know which is which. I mean, I've seen 2124. I've seen 2102. This is 2101, I think, and that would leave 2100 as the remaining T-1, which is somewhere in like somewhere in Ohio, somewhere near Cleveland, if I remember right. I don't totally remember. Uh, I would
Oh, there
love.
we go. That's a good image, Kaiser.
Oh yeah, that's a great picture. All right, I can put this one up on the stream. Hold on. No, apparently I can't. There's no download button. Why not? Oop, save image. There we go. Yeah, and it looks, and you can see on this picture, which give me just a second to put it up on the screen for the audience. You can see in this picture how much it does not fit in the building. It's huge. These
Mm-hmm.
covered roundhouses were really, really cool pieces of architecture and civil engineering, but it's it is not hard to understand why they went out of style very quickly as locomotives started to grow. So, unless you were in a place where it's really, really ludicrously snowy, you don't see a contained turntable and roundhouse, after like, I don't know, 1870, something like that, like post Civil War. Um, maybe that's me making things up, but they just really were not around very much. Oh, and here's a good picture of the Big Boy versus Big Boy and Flying Scotsman. Now there's a locomotive versus picture that you can already guess how that ends. But yeah, no, I might have to make a trip down to Baltimore next year. This year, I guess. We're already in January. It's 2026. Can you believe it? So, Maryland 250 Commission. I'm just trying to see if there's anything in this article that really picks out sort of what they plan to do with it. I mean, it's a cosmetic restoration, so I would feel bad if they had to stick it outside, but clearly they can't really leave it inside because it does not fit. I guess they could roll it forward onto the turntable if they aligned the turntable for it, and then close the doors behind it. I assume somewhere they have a long enough building. And they are
They're probably
working
got a
on.
hangar somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. They are working on a new building. They have a $38 million capital campaign for restoration work, and that includes the museum's South Car Works building, which is a 33,000 square foot, well, car works. That's still technically in use. I suppose that's where they do the. Bye, Lafayette. That's where they do the restoration work, or some of it, because it says it's continually in use. One of the oldest, whatever the heck it says. Point
One of
is,
them things.
one of them things. Point is, they're refurbing this long building to fit long things, and the
Nice.
building will serve as the new entrance to the museum, and it'll have an innovation hall, which talks about the present and future of American railroading, and an archival space.
Wait, I'm sorry. I just noticed what was I was like, what is so special about this German
The
picture?
German turntables.
Yeah, I didn't. My mind like didn't process that there were two turntables that go over each other like a Venn diagram.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I think my eyes just merged them together.
yeah, you get a little cross-eyed. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
I got double vision. I'm seeing the same turntable twice.
it was like that book in the school library where if you crossed your eyes, you could see something in 3D.
I could never get those damn things to work. Never.
Oh yeah, I would spend like an hour in the library just like going like, like.
Uh, I like this example, and by like I mean really, really hate this example of a double turntable thing. And I know we're totally distracted now, but the interfacing of the turntables, like they're an interference set of turntables. You can't spin them to face one another; they'll run into one another, which is crazy. Because there are other examples of a double turntable setup, but they're not overlapping. Like, you can
Yeah,
line
because
them up together.
you can't. So yeah, in the second picture, it looks like you can drive straight from one end of the roundhouse to the other via the two turntables. And the one in Germany, you can't do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think this was, I don't know if this specific one is the one I'm thinking of, but there was one in DC that I believe belonged to the Southern that was a double turntable setup just like this. Um, I'm not sure if this is that one. The locomotive closest to the camera certainly does not scream Southern to me.
No.
Uh, but yeah, and you can line both the turntables up and drive all the way across the double setup. Meanwhile,
Yes, that makes sense.
yeah. Meanwhile, the other one is if you turn them too far in one direction, you are going to crash the turntables into one another. Or like that is a thing that you could possibly do. Less than ideal, if you ask me. Um, we did mention the future of railroading with the B&O thing, and
What is the future of railroading?
well, I can tell you what I don't think is the future of railroading,
Okay.
which is Brightline West. I'm
Oh,
really
no.
I'm really not impressed by Brightline West. Let me close the ad. Thank you. It actually got a new completion date, and by date I just mean general year, which is
Okay.
2029, which seems optimistic. Uh,
That's quick.
yeah, I don't know. Completion targeted for late 2029. Despite earlier optimism to have the project ready by the 2028 LA Olympics, the current expected completion date has since been pushed back. Like, they have to build new rail line for this. I don't. I. Unless they are out there building it right now, I don't know about that. And maybe 2029 is further away than it feels, but this is a lot of work to do, especially for a company that, I mean, Brightline is not as financially treading water uh, as a lot of articles might make one believe. But it's not like they're rolling in the money. It's a lot of investor money. It's a lot of sort of property, you know, making money off of properties. I'm not even totally sure that Brightline and Brightline West are, like totally sharing revenue profits. I don't know how connected these organizations are. I mean, I assume they are connected in some way, right? Brightline acquired Express West, so it's a subsidiary, perhaps, or whatever. It just doesn't seem. I don't know. It seems very optimistic that this will ever get done, much less within the next 3 years. Um,
I mean, like, yeah, what other modern, we don't really have any other modern high-speed rail projects other than uh, California High-Speed Rail, which is like its own beast to compare
yeah,
it to. So, like, yeah,
yeah. No, I mean it's scarcely comparable. I mean, this Brightline West is a private development. California High Speed Rail is, a
yeah,
government funded thing. And while I am certain that Brightline West is and will take advantage of grants from the state and the federal government, uh, I this thing as it's like we talk about how California High Speed Rail has been spinning its wheels a little bit, or has a history of doing so, but at least they are actively building stuff. Um, I think Brightline West has been working on a station in Las Vegas. Um, and the goal is to run it in the medium of Interstate 15. So at least that makes getting land a little bit easier. Uh, Companies focusing on preparing I-15 and the surrounding land for rail infrastructure. They have not announced when track laying will begin. I'm not holding my breath for Brightline West. I would love it if it happened, but I'm not. I'm not. I'm not putting money on it. I'm not. I'm not going to Vegas and putting money on it.
Not via Brightline West.
Yeah, certainly not. So.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna scroll through the news, see what else I want to talk about here.
The B&O Roundhouse was used as a coach shop, says Train Lego Lover. So if you looked up, there was no smoke exhaust installed. Interesting. I had no idea. That also seems like a really annoying place to do coach work in. Because having to shuffle cars around a turntable, like anyone who has played Derail Valley in the last couple of years knows how frustrating it can be to try to shuffle things around a roundhouse. Shuffle things that are dead in tow around a roundhouse. And Derail Valley even makes it easier by giving you the little electric shunter and giving you a really big turntable to play with. I guess another equivalent would be if you're trying to repair coaches because you wrecked your passenger train in Railroader. How do I get these coaches into the stalls in the roundhouse? I need to go and download a mod for the smallest locomotive available. There's no hand car in Railroader. They should add that. Let's see, it's 6:25. We started at about 5:15, so we are running a little bit behind. But for whatever reason, the stream is refusing to tell me how long we've been going for. It is around here somewhere. There it is. It's 1 hour and 6 minutes up at the top. Okay. I had a really cheeky way to check, but that's not the way that you were intended to check. Did you find anything interesting in the news?
I did want to shout out the Mardi Gras thing. I don't know if we talked about that.
We talked about that a little bit last time. How they've been doing very well, and they're adding another coach.
Oh, I didn't even look at the date. Yeah, this is from the 10th. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. You gotta look for the add here messages to separate. But I will say that we will be ending the news portion relatively soon. So if you're here listening on Discord, if you're there listening on YouTube, you can join us in the Discord and raise your hand if you have a piece of news that you want to talk about, something that we haven't covered, something that we might never cover because we don't know about it. If there is something you would like us to know about, the Terminus News channel on our Discord is the place to put railroad news. You know what we do have on hand, though, and this is once again related to the future of railroading, so to speak. Although this is a Trainsmag article that I can't read all of, and I haven't ever found the answer to the question that I really have, which is the Cuyahoga Valley wants to convert a pair of Alco FPA4s to battery electric power, which is certainly an idea, but I would be more or less annoyed depending if they are actually Alcos or not. And I have not gotten an answer to that when I have asked around, and I haven't figured it out myself, which is, were these things remotored? I mean, if these are original Alco Prime Mover FPA4s, then that's a real bummer. If they've been remotored, I really don't care that much. They can throw batteries in an FA and drive it around. Why not?
Sure. Honestly, I kind of want to see it. It feels like it's like those live Steam models just made big.
Yeah, it'll be like a Steam outline. It'll be a diesel outline.
Yeah. Yeah, or like the 7.5-inch diesels that are just like battery.
Yeah. That's
I do want to have a brief mention that Pico is absolutely killing it. Pico, and then I think Rapido is the other one that's doing it, but like 009 stuff recently.
What size is 009?
So 009 is basically British HON 30.
Oh, okay.
I think that's like the simplified version that I have had explained to me. Like it runs on N-scale track, I believe, and it's like pretty much the same scale or gauge or whatever. And I am just like absolutely begging one of these companies to realize how much of a market they have in the US and do 009 but America.
Yeah, get some 009, Sandy River stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
like oh my god, like I mean, you could literally just do Brecon Mountain. I don't care.
that's true. That's true. I mean, the Brecon Mountain has more Sandy River stuff than the Sandy River does.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Well, no, we're running because they definitely have plenty of stuff up there.
yeah, that's true. I'd like to. I know I was talking to you about. Oh, we need to go back to Maine. We need to make our first Maine trip of the year soon. I know we've been missing out on. There's been a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, people have been posting pictures from snowbound, or not snowbound, but snowy landscapes with 2 foot in them up at the
Yes.
WWF. And they've also been running with the suck brakes, with the automatic
Yes.
vacuum brake system, which is really cool. Although we talked about last time how I feel bad that
Put us out of a job.
yeah, we're put out of a job, and I need to go back, but we really need to. I think this year we should make a point to make it to the WWF SRNRL work day because we haven't been up there in a number of years, and that place needs all the love we can give it.
Yeah, it's also just like such a that place is so it's like the WWF is unique in its own way. The SRNRL museum is unique in a very different way.
Yes,
And
it really
I
does
love
feel
going there
isolated
because
and
you're like,
unique.
yeah, you're like, oh, this is just literally the middle of nowhere with a bunch of old stuff just sitting here, kind of.
I love that. Yeah, by their roundhouse, they just have like, oh, here's a boiler that we found, and it's probably of number 1 or number 2, uh, and just here's some other junk that we found around, and this is what we think it is. It's like I love it for that. I'm trying not to like I'm not knocking it. I absolutely love
Yeah.
it.
No, it's got its character. That's the SRNRL. It is great. Like the the one thing about like the main 2 foot consortium or whatever.
the commune.
Yeah, is that like they're all like they're all doing the same thing. I guess you could say like if you really simplify it, they're all doing the same thing. They're preserving main 2 foot, but they're all so different.
Oh yeah.
Like all the groups are just so different, and they all have their own philosophies on how to do things, and they don't always get along in like the surface level ways that groups like to bicker. And I don't know, it's just really interesting. It's like the cultures of the museums, even though they're all kind of the same.
Yeah. It's great. I love Maine. I love Maine. I love Maine 2 foot. You have the Maine narrow gauge is the commercialized one, and then you have the WWF, which is the authentic one, and then you have the SNRL, which is like the truly Maine middle of nowhere one.
Yeah, that one's the closest to like this is how it was and still is.
Yeah.
Like this is just like if like when they abandoned the SRNRL, they're like, all right, just hold on to that section, and it just kind of sat there since.
Well, didn't they build that from scratch? Like what is left there?
That's I don't know. I know they're like they've added to it because like they built like a new car barn and stuff like that, but I don't know.
Booth Bay is Mossy Mug says Booth Bay is ... question mark. Booth Bay is the theme park one.
Yeah, Booth Bay is like
I love Booth Bay. Booth Bay is great in its own way. And Kaiserin says 009 is 2 foot ish in 00 scale, which is about 2'3", which that tracks with which is it, the Festiniog that's 2'3", one of those like quote unquote 2 foot railroads.
Yeah, they model they do the 2 foot stuff in that scale, which is what they do for HO at 30 because it's also not 2 foot.
We also got sent a post. Hey Ellis and TJ, what's wrong? And
what is wrong in this image? I don't know.
Have you not noticed?
101. It's at 304.
Hold on, I'm gonna put it up on the screen. You can keep thinking about it.
New York, New London, Mystic. What? Why is Route 128 the destination of this train?
I think it gets better than that.
And then
Uh,
yeah, I mean,
it's
obviously you go from Kingston to Providence to Old Saybrook to Back Bay to
yeah,
Boston.
no, it's uh, they just put the they just
Is this AI?
oh please, oh please, Grok, where's my train going?
Gronk, Gronk, what's the Northeast Regional schedule?
Oh god, oh god, please never trust AI for anything.
I saw some lady like the lady on the train from North Carolina back to Washington. I still don't know what was going on with her to this day, but she was having some problem where like her ticket was like past DC, and like she
Okay,
was like I I don't know, like she was having some thing with the conductor about how she's going past DC, and he was like telling her to like she needs to like call Amtrak and all this stuff, and she was like looking at like an AI summary of the Northeast Regional to like talk on the phone with it. And I was like, oh my god.
yikes.
Yeah, because like it was like showing like an out of date like list of stops. I'm pretty
Hmm.
sure.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
the
but you know
Northeast Regional is
she
interesting because there are so
yeah
many different
yeah
service patterns.
yeah it's like this too is a Northeast Regional, but this one goes to Hartford.
There's the ones that go like up the Hartford line. There are the ones that terminate in the various Virginia destinations south of DC. There are stops on the Northeast Regional that get one train a day or two trains a day, instead of more than that. Most trains just go by them, and I could understand how that could be confusing. And it's a shame that the Amtrak website is really not much help.
No, it's just like,
Uh,
hey, this is the Northeast Regional.
yeah. Anyway, I think that is where we should about wrap up the news this week. If you saw a piece of news, or if you have a piece of news that you didn't get to have covered by this show, you're welcome to put it in Terminus News, and we will maybe cover it next time, or just keep it in your brain for the next couple of weeks. Like I said, there will not be a Terminus podcast, at least not a quote-unquote real one like this, next weekend, because of the Amherst Model Train Show, aka the Big E. And we'll resume after that, hopefully same as it ever was. Or at least same as it has been for the last 10 episodes or so. TJ, do you have a guess for the latest train on Amtrak?
Train 164. No, I'm just kidding. Uh, I mean, considering it has to go back and forth from Providence to Old Saybrook to Back Bay, that's pretty late.
Train 101, yeah.
um, I'm gonna have to guess maybe the uh, west westbound builder. Oh, it's really
Okay.
snowing out there. What
I,
the hell?
I haven't looked at it, so I will also take the builder. I'll take the eastbound builder. Let me open the Transit Docs map now.
This- the
Oh,
road's covered in snow.
wow. Oh, yeah, it's really coming down at Gillette Stadium. I still have the football game on in the background. It just wrapped up. Patriots won. Hell yeah.
Oh my God,
Um,
you're getting a point.
yeah, and yeah, no, send me straight to jail. So the eastbound and westbound Empire builders, 36 minutes late to Havre, Montana. That's a westbound. Or 36 minutes late at Havre, Montana. The eastbound right next to it is 12 minutes late at Glasgow, Montana. And then there is a 1 hour and 29-minute late westbound at Glenview, Illinois. It actually left Chicago an hour and a half late, and it has gotten. It really hasn't lost much time. Um, there are a couple of honorable mentions. One of them is an Empire Service train that's 1 hour late. One of them is a California Zephyr to Emeryville that's 1 hour and 27 minutes late. And there are also two Floridians that are over an hour late, a northbound and a southbound, that are both still in Miami. And a 1 hour and 45-minute late Northeast Regional to Norfolk. So if you had taken a Northeast Regional, you might have gotten pretty close. But the latest train on Amtrak is the Borealis.
What?
It's 2 hours and 14 minutes late at Tomwa, Wisconsin. Or Toma.
Wait, that's the latest train on Amtrak?
That's the latest train on Amtrak. 2 hours and 14 minutes late.
Wow,
That's the latest
good
one
for
I can
you.
find. I mean, maybe there's
It's
one
definitely
buried
gonna
in
get
here
worse
somewhere,
overnight
but
now.
no, that is the latest train at Amtrak. I've
Hell
never
yeah.
seen that before. I'm gonna have to put
Good
that in
job,
the.
Amtrak.
Yeah, I guess that is pretty good, all things
I love
considered.
you. I love you.
Uh, that is train number 1340 for those playing along at home. I'm gonna, of course, put this in the list here. This is also a Chicago-bound train, same as the last one that we had, and it is, like I said, 2 hours and 14 minutes late at Toma. 2:14 at Toma. I have to put this in immediately because if I don't, the thing moves and changes. Um, hopefully there aren't any. Oh, there are some articles that I neglected to put in here, so I'm just going to have to pause the end of the show so I can remember what needs to go in here. Um, the we also had this other article. Did you look at this one with the two shipper groups voice support on the UPNS merger?
Yeah, that was the
Uh,
second article I read for that.
okay, cool. I wasn't sure if that had got brought up, if that had been brought up, and then the other one that I talked about was Right Line West. I think that's everything. If not, all of these links are available on our Discord in the Terminus News section. So, with that out of the way, it's time to wrap up the show for real this time. Let me check my going out checklist. No, let's wrap up the show. I don't have anything for minutes away other than no podcast tomorrow, or next podcast tomorrow.
Well,
Next week. I mean, there won't be one tomorrow either. There will be a new episode of Transport Fever tomorrow, hopefully, if I remember to put it up. If not, it'll probably come out on Tuesday. They've been coming out on Tuesday. I've been forgetting. But TJ, thank you for being my co-host on this one. It would have been a lonely show without you. And thanks to all the folks that have called in and the folks that have watched. And
I have one thing.
What's up?
Folks, tune into the post show. I'm going to be finishing up the caboose live on air.
Okay, TJ's going to be building a caboose during the Locomotive Versus post show.
Yes.
If you want to play Locomotive Versus, you can join us then and there. And like, comment, subscribe. Thanks to
Turn on the bell.
Thanks to all the people that help support the show, including Virtual Rail Fan, even though they don't know they are doing that. So, yeah, the train will terminate at this station.